I like it. I'm very partial, I think, to Omega in general, mostly because of my history. I grew up 5 miles from the Swiss border, and my dad had Omegas. Even though we are 6 kids, I luckily inherited both of my dad's Omegas and wearing them. And of course, it has a, that whole moon history, of course, is something. But I think what I like the most about it, they're not just stopping there. I would say out of those 5 watches, that's clearly my favorite. I think it's a fine-looking watch. It doesn't do anything for me. In one of my favorite TV series is in the Succession, there's a scene in there where Tom, the future son-in-law, needs a gift for the patriarch of the family. And he's going back and forwards, and ultimately he gives him a watch.
Oh. It's a Patek Philippe, so.
That says Patek Philippe.
Yeah. It's incredibly accurate. Every time you look at it, it tells you exactly how rich you are.
That's very funny. Did you rehearse that?
No. No. Yes. But...
Okay. Oh, yeah. Here.
This all happens before a little baseball game. You see the shot of the apartment of the caretakers of the field, and the Patek Philippe box and watch is in their apartment. He didn't care of taking it, he just left it with the caretakers. And I don't know, I think that sort of sums it up quite nicely. Again, I think that this, of course, is an absolute classic. I'm still not a big friend of it. Let's say in the world of classic products, the 911 is probably as classic as this watch, but it's better. It's just a better shape. Its iterations from 1954 until now are much more substantial and smarter. Better people have worked on this, better designers, better engineers. I looked up how this watch looked in 54. Very similar. Look, it works for Rolex, so of course, why should they change considering they've been selling, my guess would be hundreds of thousands of these, maybe millions. So it's a fantastic business for them, and very clearly we like it as humanity. I think that for me, with all of these luxury products, there are just some where I find the luxury comes out of poetry or obsession or a new idea or timeliness in the way that they are of the now. And some of these things come out of their brand. I think it's awful. You should get the matching cufflinks and maybe a shirt that has your initials on it. And then you can really scream, I am the jumbo douchebag of this room for sure. I mean, it's just awful. I think that everything about it, like that strange octagon, that's not really an octagon, but it has these rounded parts in it. I mean, obviously this is, for that kind of price, this is well crafted, but it's sort of, the craft comes out of analness. It doesn't come out of joy. It's not I think it's just awful. And I literally, like, if I see people wearing it, I definitely judge them. Yeah. I think it's sort of like, it just is a testament to your awful taste. Out of those historic ones, it's much improved over the AP, but it still seems odd to me. It seems odd, like, why would I wear a Art Deco watch? Like, when I'm not walking around in Art Deco shoes. It just seems a little odd. And that bezel with the stone on it seems needlessly sexual. Like, I'm not quite sure where that comes from. Like, it doesn't seem to be a motivation for this in the rest of the case. I know that I think that Louis Cartier apparently had one or was already wearing it. Wouldn't be something that I'd be interested in at all. Yeah. But I think that from a design standpoint, I think it's always odd to wear something that is made now based on something that's 100 years old. I would say that good design has to do two things. It has to help somebody and it has to delight somebody.
Thanks for joining us on the show. Really appreciate it.
Same here. It was very enjoyable to rant a little bit.